I'm here, y'all. You know, sometimes I just get so disenchanted with our people and people who like to represent a certain way. And then when you really find out what their politics are, you're like, what the hell is really wrong with this person? And I've always been taught that charity begins at home and then it spreads abroad. I mean, I look like a damn fool telling you ain't water your grass, and when my house is on fire. I mean, and then it becomes, are you doing this for money or are you really that stupid? You have a choice. So let me start right here, because I was sent this article and I was like, really? So Nicki Minaj is going all in for MAGA. Okay? While Trump's covert drug war is devastating her homeland of Trinidad. Y'all hear me? Because, I mean, she quick to represent her being Trinidadian. She from the Caribbean. That's where her people at. They on the island. It's just 7 miles from Venezuela. They're killing them as well. Trinidadian fishermen. Let me just get into this article because it just makes me want to, that's what I mean when I said, Nikki, you don't know enough. You need to set your ass down, because now ain't no sense in dealing with you because you MAGA and you dumb. And that's why Donald J likes you. He said he don't want he rather have the uninformed constituents, because he know if you dumb, then he can do whatever the hell he want to do without any pushback from you and people that are dumb like you. I'm gonna have to call it like I see it. Alright? I don't give a damn about the barbs or whoever they are. I'm just telling you, you need to get your girl and tell her just how foolish and ignorant her trumping for MAGA really is, and her people getting blown out the water, and she talking about some damn Christians being blown. Bitch, you ain't never represented yourself like no Christian. I mean, for real. You're not Christian. At least you don't represent yourself that way. And I didn't mean to call you out your name, but I can't stand older dumb people that would allow themselves to be used. Nicki Minaj, who once sang Island Girl, Donald Trump want me to go home, in what was widely recognized as a takedown of the then-elect president's migrant deporting rhetoric. But she changed her tune now, y'all. Here we go. 9 years later, the Trinidadian-born rapper has stunned fans by apparently coming out as a supporter of the president, most recently led by backing him in an address to the United Nations. Now remember, I want you to remember, her people are getting blown out the water by bombs, and our government is committing war crimes that they gonna be held accountable for. They going to jail for it. Pete Hegseth and all that shit. These people will be punished for killing innocent people, or they will definitely be jailed. One or the other. Following a string of MAGA supporting posts on social media on Tuesday, Nicki threw her support behind Trump's allegations of Christian persecution in Nigeria, saying she wanted to highlight the deadly threat. Now, you just so. Again, I think you got a niche for pedos. Because the fact that this person could ask me to do anything on the things that he's accused of, I would turn a blind ear, but not you. You got a soft spot in your heart for people who commit crimes against children. I noticed that about you. The Trump administration military actions in the Caribbean are having profound impact on Nicki Minaj's beloved home island of Trinidad. Nicki was born in Trinidad. Her family moved to the Bronx in New York when she was 5 years old. You should have stayed. A series of lethal strikes on alleged drug boats off the coast of Venezuela, which critics have said amount to the extrajudicial murder, is being acutely felt in Trinidad, just 7 miles away from Venezuela. And its closest point, they 7 miles away. Okay, let me make sure I say that clearly. With Trinidadians being among those killed and with bodies washing up on beaches. She don't got nothing to say about that, but she want to talk about Christians. I'll talk about Pharrell later, but this is really disturbing me, that you can go and get these women and who y'all representing? Because for sure, Nicki, you're not representing Trinidadian, and you definitely not representing any person of color or a black person. ADOS, foundational black. So who are you representing? The pedo club? The families of 2 men from Trinidad have demanded evidence to back up the U.S. allegations that those killed were trafficking drugs. They want evidence, and so does any other sane and rational person, Nicki. Why would you get your ass out there and support Trump like this when he's killing your people, your homeland? You talking about some damn Christians. Recent reports suggest deadly U.S. strikes mean fishing off the coast of Trinidad is now considered to be increasingly dangerous by locals, with some saying that the value of the catch has fallen as they stayed closer to the shore. Introduced by Trump's ambassador to the United States on Tuesday, Mike Walls thanked Nicki, both him and Trump, and said it was an honor to help highlight the deadly threats faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. And you know that's a big ass farce. You think they care about black? You think these people care about black people? Are you really that silly? You think they care about black people? They want to use black people like they just used you. And if anybody still support you after this, that's on them. That's their ignorance. But you should be tarred and feathered. Here she go. I stand here as a proud New Yorker with a deep sense of gratitude that we live in a country where we can freely and safely worship God regardless of one's creed, background, color, or politics. No one should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. Like I recently stated on social media, we don't have to share the same beliefs in order to respect each other. I don't respect nobody that's killing me or trying to, or take food out the mouths of my babies and my grandbabies. I don't have no love for them. You got to stand on something. See, this is the day and age where you have to stand on it and be clear on it. You can't be lukewarm. You got to be hot or cold. And if you're such a good Christian, you know your Bible speaks to that. They ain't got no time for no lukewarm people. God don't use no coward soldiers. I mean, her intervention comes after Trump claimed Christianity faces an existential threat in Nigeria and reportedly instructed the Pentagon to prepare for political military actions in the West African nation. You. Do you know that Nigeria is mineral rich, oil rich? Most where we come from, the origin of people of color or Africans or Nigerians, America is not self-sustaining, and neither is Europe. They're barren countries, so they have to go to black countries and steal. Everything that come out of the soil of Africa is rich. Whether it's the people you steal and make them slaves, they still rich. Because you can't kill God. So you worried about the wrong thing, sweetheart. You worried about the wrong thing. This man is over there stealing resources, and you got the nerve to think it's about Christians. And I'm not denying that Boko Haram. I'm not denying that there's some people, I don't even think that's Nigeria, are being killed, but not on the scale that you think. Not where we have to pluck your ass up out of America and speak for the Christians in Nigeria. Nicki. Experts and residents under a more nuanced perspective, noting that while some attacks have been targeted against Christians, both Christians and Muslims, though, see, you ain't saying nothing about them. The two main religious groups in the country of more than 230 million people have been victim of attacks by radical Islamists. Meanwhile, the Nigerian government has dismissed accusations it is failing to safeguard Christians, which make up about 50% of its population, from violence, expressing astonishment, and at Trump's hint of possible U.S. military action. We are shocked that President Trump is mulling an invasion of our country, said presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga. That's what he told CNN. Following reports that the U.S. leader had directed the Pentagon to prepare for potential action, Nigerian human rights advocate Belima Bakarti disputed Trump's view of the situation, saying the U.S. comments reflect a dangerous, simple overfication of Nigeria's complex security crisis. Do y'all hear that? This situation calls for more than somebody that's uninformed like Nicki Minaj to come up and represent. This is way more complicated than that. This shit has a history. It has a history older than you. America are colonizers. We're colonizers. The fact that we're over here, we're colonized. Okay? can't do what the fuck you want to do in this country. You better have your papers too. You better have your passport, your ID, and your papers, because you dealing with a group of people who is so crazy. They can see native indigenous people everywhere and then claim it for themselves, and say this is a white country. This is how crazy the people are you dealing with. They are chromatic Neanderthal genetic mutants. I'm just telling you. And so they don't have the some of them don't have the capacity to have no human empathy. And this is who you want to be in alignment with? U.S. carried out its 20th attack, it's probably a little bit more now, on alleged drug-running boats in the region, bringing the death toll of the strikes that began in September to right now 100 or 80. The latest attacks, which also included 2 strikes on the boats on Sunday, come as Trump administration expands its military already significant presence in the region. The USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier and the nation's most advanced and largest warships, that's all they know how to do, is this war. And go pick on people. And since we don't have no resources, let's go steal somebody else's on the pretense that they're killing Christians. Or they're being mean to their people. What the fuck you worried about that for when you being mean to people right here in America? It makes no sense. You want to go and fight for somebody else's interest, and you got people in your own country starving, and you cutting food stamps and Medicare, everything. Nikki, I bet your mama had food stamps coming up. How far removed are you, Nikki? Growing up, my parents, I ain't never had food stamps. But I still have empathy and had relatives that did. And it was all they had to survive. Some of them had single parents. Well, I had a mother and a father. My father worked every day, and so did my mother. Mother was an educator. So that wasn't my story, but I had empathy. And my family taught me that. That's a principle. And you sitting up here bigging up, talking about thinking you doing something for Christians. And they over there blowing up Trinidadians. I can't, Nikki. I can't. And you and Pharrell would have better business. Sit y'all asses down, pick up a damn book, and read what's really going on in your homeland, because obviously you don't know. Talking about Trump gave you an opportunity. He gave you the opportunity to make a damn fool out of yourself. According to the critics, the arrival of the warship is the latest sally from the U.S. as it seeks to intimidate the Venezuelan president Maduro, who faces charges of narco-terrorism in the U.S. Just like our president is being accused of, he's a 34-time convicted felon. He's a felon just like your husband. And there's certain limitations that your husband don't got. And because of the nature of his crime, he's got to check in. He's got to do all types of stuff, right? But look at Donald Trump. His ass ain't checking in nowhere. He's a felon, just like your husband. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that the U.S. doesn't recognize Maduro, who was widely accused of stealing last year's election, as the leader of Venezuela, and has called the government a transshipment organization that openly cooperates with those trafficking drugs towards the U.S. The U.S. demanding a lot of drugs, I can tell you that. Because you got to be high to deal with some of this shit that's going on in this country. Bring on the drugs and bring on the alcohol. I mean, that wasn't serious, y'all. Don't take me serious. But I'm just saying. It's, oh, God. I want to know what y'all think about this. What y'all think about Nicki Minaj caping for Donald Trump and his blowing up of her countrymen and not even mentioning it? I mean, all right, y'all tell me what y'all think. If you like what you hear, like, subscribe, and share my channel. I'll definitely see you in the next video.